And we're live, and welcome back, everyone. Craig and Jonah here today. How are you, Jonah?
Tired.
What happened?
It's coyote mating season around our house, and
I didn't know that was a thing. I didn't know that interfered with life.
Oh man, this time of year is insane. For one thing, they're really loud, but it gets the dog really riled. And must be near a full moon. I don't know. It's pretty bright out last night. It's snow on the ground, and so the dog is up. And then our fire kind of went out, so I had to kind of get that going at like 1:30.
It got cold last night.
It did. Yeah, I woke up when the dog was going wild, and I was like, it feels kind of cold in here. So I got that going. Then I went back to sleep, but then I had the strangest dream. Dolores wasn't with us. I don't know if she had passed on or whatever, and I was still raising the kids, and they were, I don't know what age they were, not the same age they are now. And there was some kind of interruption in the space-time continuum. And so all the clocks were at different times. And it was just the strangest thing. We were refugees, like traveling to get somewhere. It was such a messed up dream.
Did our time machine experiment go wrong or something?
It seems like it. Went back to find Onan and just found a whole different set of problems.
I could see that.
Yeah, I could see that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like Back to the Future 2, where you get off on the different tangent.
Yeah.
And Biff is a millionaire.
Yeah.
So how is it going for you?
Pretty good. Yeah. Watched a little bit of the football game last night, football games, and then I don't know, I went to bed kind of early. Had to get up real early.
Yeah. Then wait for me.
It's all right. I got up and got the vehicle started and built the fire. Fortunately, our house is small, doesn't cool down quite so much.
Mm-hmm.
But we both heat with wood, so it's a little bit of a process.
It is more of a process. It's not coyote mating season around your house.
And that doesn't seem
doesn't interfere with your life.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that interfere with NFP in our house, but
coyotes aren't one of them.
Coyote breeding season isn't one of them so far.
Oh, every year it's like this. It's just insanity.
Huh.
They're so loud. Like so loud. Not when they're doing it, when they're chasing each other.
Yeah, right.
Just to clarify.
Right.
But
huh.
Yeah.
I had no idea that would keep you out. I suppose with the dog, though.
Yep.
I don't think my dog... yeah, my dog used to bark, but I don't have a dog now, so we're going to keep it that way.
Yeah. One less thing to take care of, huh?
I'm slowly weeding out animals out of our lives. We don't have cows now. And
do the kids want to get a dog back?
They haven't said anything, and I don't care what they say. Doesn't matter. I fell for that the last time. Not doing that again.
Yep.
Nope. Dogs are fine as long as someone else has them.
It's true. Not having a kid and not having another dog, huh?
Well, we're going on this trip,
mm-hmm.
And my wife is getting a lot of unhelpful feedback from her close circle of friends who are convinced we're going to come home pregnant with number 10, which...
Well, I can see why they'd say that. I mean...
Well, we'll be lining up pretty good on the Marquette method, but...
Did she share that information?
What?
With her friends?
I don't think so.
She's not as open as you are.
Right?
It's almost like a long-term weather forecast.
We're
got strong winds from the south coming up in a couple days, and
yeah,
it'll be sunny.
I feel very confident the first day or two. Day 3 could be, I don't know. We'll see. See how,
whether you push it or not.
See how reckless we're. She's starting to give away maternity clothes and stuff like that, so it's becoming more and more of a logistical problem if we get caught.
We've been talking about that too, and my wife is going to give some of the baby clothes away.
Mm-hmm.
But it's interesting because some of the clothes she can't part with. Like there's some of the baby clothes that she can't give away, and she just wants to hang on to them. And I kind of see it, but I think it's less sentimental for me, as far as the baby clothes go.
Yeah, for me, it's just all practical. I'm just like,
do we need it? Yeah.
Well, I'm just like, but what if we get caught here and then we have to go buy all this stuff again? Like, it's like we've stored it for this long. Like, she goes in these spurts too, where she's just like, well, I want to like get rid of a bunch of baby clothes and kids clothes. I'm like, well, our track record isn't all that good, but whatever. There's just older I got, older I get, the more I don't interject myself into those things. I just let them happen.
Yep. You're a smart man. Wise.
It's taken a while.
It's wisdom that only comes with experience.
I think so. Yeah.
Seems like when my wife wants to really do a deep clean on the house and get rid of things, she just wants to get rid of my stuff.
Well, she's been after me to do that too, which is, I guess, I don't know. I mean, I don't know that I have a lot of excess stuff. I mean, clothes.
Still, I agree, and I feel the same way, but it's more than she thinks I should have, maybe.
Well, I'm a middle-aged guy where I fluctuate different times of the year, my body weight and size.
Coming off the holidays,
yeah. I mean, I'm just a 2-month diet away from fitting into those clothes again.
Just in time for the beach body.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't think 48 hours is enough time to get ready to go down and sit in the sun in Arizona, but
yeah,
it is what it is. Apparently, we were looking at the forecast. It's actually not that warm down there. It gets up into the 60s during the day, but it gets into 30s at night, which isn't, I don't know.
Well, that'll feel nice.
Yeah. Keep us inside. That's good.
Yeah, unless it's on day 3 or 4 or whatever.
Yeah, then maybe that's not a good thing. But I don't think she's going to have any problem.
Saying no.
Yeah.
No. Well, maybe you'll be persuasive or,
We'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So far, no one's gotten sick yet.
Yeah, that would derail everything. Get terribly sick.
Yeah. So far so good, but 2 more days. I think we kind of got the logistics worked out of who's gonna. You're being stuck with part of the Army.
Yep.
And yeah.
Well,
it's going to be quite an operation.
Yeah.
This might be a bigger operation than when we took all the kids to California. So
there's a lot of planning, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to give you an example, yesterday, the 2-year-old, she's been a challenge for a while, but she figured out how to go grab a can of pop and open it.
Oh, wow.
Which is not ideal.
It's not ideal. Especially
2-year-old opens a can of pop by herself. And I'm like,
she'd go back in a corner and just sip away.
Gosh. Like, we just keep it out on the front porch. We have a small fridge out there.
Mm-hmm.
It's not safe. Like,
no, you got to lock the fridge.
Apparently, I got to put that in the gun safe too. I don't know, but it's.
Don't want her to have a Mountain Dew.
Whew. I'd almost be rather she got into the beer, although I don't really drink beer anymore. So
she might fall asleep then.
She'd be high. Oh my gosh! So she immediately.
What kind of pop is she drinking? Or is she not getting
Pepsi Zero?
Pepsi Zero. All right.
Yeah. So my wife immediately ordered a fridge lock.
Really?
Yeah.
That's funny.
It's supposed to be here by, I think, today.
Do you think that she can figure out the fridge lock too? If she can
figure out
how to open
it might take her a few days. Kids are just, I don't know. I had this thought yesterday. Is that natural family planning, I think, is pretty doable for people that don't have kids.
So you're saying starting out?
Yeah, like if you're just starting out and you needed to use it to delay children, I think you could manage it because you can work your life around.
Yep, I agree with that.
Your life is completely outside your control once you have kids.
Mm-hmm.
And thinking that the calendar is going to line up at all with life is so silly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's
absurd.
Yeah. And so what you end up doing is you try to you force intimacy into this is the time of the calendar when we can do it, even if maybe it isn't the best time. Like, you can't just kind of bob and weave.
Less romance. You just
get it over with. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's just
got 20 minutes right now.
Yeah, it does feel forced at times, and I mean, I don't know, I think there's some benefit to that, but it's just the NFP just seems more and more something conjured up by people in theory who have no actual practice having families and having an intimate life with them.
That's true, because what Christopher West didn't start. Well, he was late. What is his story?
Well,
his wife was postmenopausal when he really got into this.
No,
something like that.
I don't know. I don't think so. I think there's theories about what his actual drive really is in life, but
I thought there was something interesting about it. Maybe I'm wrong.
No, I don't know what their fertility status was. Maybe they have 5 kids, so I know he had a pretty bad porn and solo addiction when he was younger on, and may or may not have had some same-sex attraction.
Is that something that happens with NFP usage, you think? I'm just kidding.
Well, there's a lot of side effects to it. I don't think that's one of them.
Can't totally blame it on that.
No, but that's a really good segue, actually, to the topic today that I wanted to get your thoughts on. So someone on our Discord posted a video or an article. I don't know if this is just the Italian bishops or what.
I did tune into the Discord a little bit, and I saw that Taylor Swift was conjuring up demons during the Eras tour. And I don't know what to think of that. I understand the reasoning there, like maybe they're doing some kind of ritual that's similar, but I think the intent would be important as well.
Well, yeah, I mean, in that someone posted that article because the priest that was making those claims, I had seen something circulate on Facebook. These celebrity exorcists that are out there, Father Ripperger being the one that I know the most, and there's some others out there, make some wild claims. But one of my trad Catholic friends on Facebook posted this meme or whatever screenshot where this priest, who I wasn't familiar with, claims that he gets more referrals for exorcism from his non-Catholic pastors and things like that. Very skeptical about that.
I've heard that too, actually. I heard that many years ago, and I've seen that repeated.
I don't actually think that's true, but
I don't think that you can say that, actually. There's some pretty intriguing cases. Like there's one in Indianapolis. I believe they're making a movie about it, where the police saw a person walk up the wall. And that was somebody who had gone to many different denominations in an attempt to rid their house of the crazy stuff that was going on. And they ended up going to a Catholic priest and took care of it. But
this idea that, let's say, a Baptist or a Lutheran would be like, yeah, the way to solve this is to send it to a Catholic priest. Like that just...
I think that it's well
I'm
known
skeptical of that.
No, I think that they know that the Catholics actually have some training in this, whereas they don't really go over this in their training. So
they don't. Maybe they're not as dismissive of the Catholics as the Catholics like to be dismissive of the Protestants.
That could be it. I think it's just once they get deep into it, they know that they're not going to be able to handle it.
Okay.
So they might as well go to somebody that at least has some.
Okay, fine. Well, I posted that. I just said I was skeptical of the priest claim because it's kind of like, how do you verify that? I mean,
I think it's true, honestly.
Well, thanks for taking the wind out of my sails. But someone had posted this article. This is the same priest that says demons are summoned at Taylor Swift concerts completely unintentionally or whatever. And again, I'm just skeptical of that. I'm not saying it can't be true.
No, I think intention matters though. Yeah. But I mean, the priest knows more than I do, I would think. So
well, that's what we're trained to say.
That is what we're trained to say in a lot of things.
So back to the gay priest.
Sorry.
That's okay. Yeah. I got to keep you on track here. I know you were up last night with the howling coyotes. I
was.
get it. Okay. So this just came out. Gays allowed as seminary, but chastity essential.
Okay.
Non-practicing homosexuals can train to be priests, and there's guidelines. And this is Italian bishops.
So
Which
people are outraged about that, or are they supportive of it?
Well, it depends who you ask, right?
Okay. So that like they want the non-practicing masturbators to. Is that okay?
I guess. Yeah. See that was funny because it says and so this is the punchline at the end. It says so basically saying if someone has homosexual tendencies, if that's their natural impulse or whatever, I think,
is that how they would describe that, as a natural impulse?
Well, whatever
inclination.
Inclination.
I'm just kidding. I'm just picking on you.
I believe the standard, at least maybe this varies by diocese, is not to allow those men into the seminary.
Okay. I think are they worried about like hidden relationships, maybe?
Well, I don't know if they just don't trust these guys to be chaste, or if it's almost a little more fundamental than that, sort of like the way that a man that doesn't have his sexual organs can't be a priest, I believe, which makes sense to me. I believe that's
really
true. Yeah.
I haven't heard that.
Yeah.
I'm more in tune with The Exorcist in Indiana.
Yeah. No, I believe that's true. So the change would be from what the status quo is, that if you are confident you are a gay man, whether you are completely chaste or not, you are not allowed to become a priest. I believe that's at least a standard in some dioceses, and so this would change that. But it said it reiterated instead that the church, while deeply respecting the people in question, cannot admit to the seminary and to holy orders those who practice homosexuality. Which, what does that again?
What does that mean?
What does that mean?
That he lives with another guy, or
how long?
Yeah.
How long do you have to go without before you are considered?
Yeah, I mean, I'm married, but there have been times where I've gone a long time without any intimacy, and they would claim that as me still being married. So.
Right. Yeah. What do they do about the non-homosexual man that suffer? That's doing, I don't know, other common stuff that men do.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know that. I mean, I get the hesitation to it, but there seems to be this assumption. I don't know if this data is correct or not, but that gay men are more promiscuous than heterosexual. And I don't know if that's true or not, but I think they certainly think that, in the wake of the priest abuse crisis and all that, I mean, I think they blame that on gay men already in the priesthood. And I don't know.
I don't know what to think.
I don't know if lonely heterosexual men are if they're susceptible to those kinds of fallings or not too, or if it's more gay. I mean, so are gay oriented men less able to be chaste than hetero? I mean, that seems to be the
assumption.
The assumption.
I don't know. I honestly don't know, but I would think that whatever training they go through would cover chastity in a multitude of ways, or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, discuss what life is like as a priest, how to remain faithful to your calling.
I mean, and I get it. I mean, the let's just come out right out and state the obvious here. They're concerned about altar servers being around these priests, which, okay, but do I need to be concerned about my wife getting pastoral care from a straight
in the confessional.
Yeah, I just
Yeah, and I do know there was a priest around here that he fell for a woman in the confessional, and that happens.
Yeah, I mean, as it pertains to my wife, I guess I'd feel more comfortable with her getting direction from a guy that has no interest in her. But obviously, I worry about my kids too.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I just don't know if a gay priest is more likely to prey on, to do those kinds of dastardly things.
When you said pray, I wasn't sure which.
No, Prey, right?
Yeah.
On kids. I mean, stepping back for a second, it seems like a kind of an elegant solution to the priest shortage and the church's position on gay men and women, right? I mean, shouldn't they be ideal candidates for the priesthood?
Promoting them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
it always struck me as odd. It was like, well, we're not going to allow you to get married. I mean, we're not going to allow you to marry someone of the same gender. And oh, by the way, we're also going to bar the doors to the priesthood. I'm like, wow, what a deal that is. I mean,
yeah.
Even if they wanted to, they couldn't become priests.
But then, too, I know a fair amount of people that don't just pick one, male or female, as far as like they're bi, I guess you would say. And so how do you, do they lump them in? Because, I mean, if you're 80-20.
Could Christopher West have gotten into the seminary?
Well, I just mean, I know people that have had kids, but then they go on to be gay later in life, or they even might have different partners.
Yeah, I mean, if the seminary questionnaire is, have you ever had a romantic thought about same gender? I don't. Like I said, Christopher West, according to his own admission, had those, I don't know, strong feelings when he was a teenager.
For other men?
Yeah.
Really?
You gotta hang out in the Discord more. This is where all this good information comes from.
I do check it occasionally.
I mean, that's the claim. Now, I don't know. I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm surprised by that.
Well, that's at least some people's theory of why he finds NFP very easy.
Yeah, he has no attraction to his wife. Or little.
Well, some have suggested, if it's true, and I'm not here to defame the guy, but
boy, I would love to talk to him about that, because that's something that I can't wrap my head around. Is just, yeah. I'm sorry, but I don't know how to find another guy attractive.
Well, yeah. So the theory is that if that's true, if he has any sort of latent inclination at all, number one, probably makes abstinence easier from his wife.
I would think so,
right? And number two,
likes watching adult men that.
We're live here. Just remember, we're live here.
I'm not going to say anything bad.
I mean, it could also. I've wondered if that doesn't explain why he goes so.
Maybe me and him could go to a pro wrestling match sometime.
That'd be all right.
Yeah, I'd check it out with him.
But it could explain where he takes theology of the body to such a, I say kind of an extreme degree, and he makes the marital act this very religious and deeply theological experience with close connections to the mass and all that.
He's got to talk himself into it.
Yes.
Oh, goodness gracious.
I'm just speculating here.
It's possible. Because you're right. It does seem like that kind of thought process isn't natural to a guy. I don't think.
I mean, I'm fine if "oh God" is uttered, and stuff like that. But that's kind of the extent. That's kind of the extent of how.
Yeah, I can see the religious overtones there. Yeah. And I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah, but So I don't know. And I was thinking about this because my wife came home yesterday. I don't know if you saw this too. There was we have kind of a newer priest, and we had another priest here for a while, and he was providing demographic data on the decline of mass attendance.
I didn't see the pamphlet, but yes, I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
my wife was going through that, and it's kind of just, I don't know if it's disturbing or eye opening.
Is it just for like our area or diocese? Or
Our
is it...
parishes.
Oh, okay.
And it's been a significant decrease, despite my efforts and some other, pretty prolific families. It's gone down. Now there's been a lot
incredible considering like we do have some large families.
Yeah, right. I don't know what it was, like a 40% decline
over how many years?
2013, I think, like a 10-year. There's been a lot of deaths, but again, the Catholic Church is aging. The demographics are such, and especially I'd say outside of traditional TLM circles, there's not a lot of babies being made.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I mean, so we have a quote unquote priest crisis, and we have kind of a quote unquote baby crisis, I think.
Why did they say that? Did they get into what the reasons are?
No. I mean, he did say, he made a comment that this is not, this is consistent with demographics outside of our parishes. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't like this was unique to us. This was a consistent trend in our diocese and whatever.
And the thing is that in my mind, part of it is that the church is less attractive to people now than it was. Birth control is an issue. Like I know one person that I know that left the church. She came from a family of 12. Her parents had 2 sets of twins in the same calendar year.
Holy moly.
And
I
mean, can you imagine? So she wanted to have kids, but she just wanted to have like
a little more control over it.
Yeah. And but then she couldn't wrestle with that, like just couldn't square herself being in a church that didn't agree with her, so she left. And just became spiritual then at that point. Like did not go to any other.
And I've always wondered, do you think
can you imagine what that house is like, the 2 sets of twins? And they had other kids. 2 sets of twins in the same calendar year. I think they might have had 6 kids under the age of like 3 or 4. Like
wow. God bless them. Man, oh man. I can't even wrap my head around that.
She said that when squabbling would begin in their house, everybody started ducking because their mom would just grab a newspaper and start swatting at everybody, whoever was closest. That was. I
can relate to some of that, I guess.
Because you just, like, there was so much chaos that she couldn't even handle it. Like, she was going to quiet it down.
I don't think it's unreasonable to not necessarily want that to happen.
I mean, man, that would be exhausting.
Do you think? I know when I was more of a trad, people would say, "Well, people leave the church over the birth control thing," and of course, the trad response is, "Well, you just want to go do whatever you want to do," kind of thing, be sexual, addicts or just complete slaves to your flesh, and I really don't think that's actually true. I think not wanting to have to deal with that doesn't make you just a complete sexual slave.
Mm-hmm. Wanting to have some level of responsibility.
I mean, yeah, and so I think this is where traditional Catholicism really paints straw men to try and bolster their position rather than face the reality that, yeah, you know what, people leave the faith over this.
And should they? I don't think they should.
Well, I don't. Like, I would hope not too. But if all things being equal, that's the thing that drives them away. Man, I just think that's a real tragedy.
It is,
because I really am. I sympathize deeply with people that maybe aren't in a position to endure the realities of NFP the way that my wife and I have. Right? It's a hard life. And I totally get why some people say I just can't do that.
And our faith is more about a relationship with God than it is just following the rules. To follow the rules.
Yeah.
Like there are circumstances sometimes.
Yeah. I totally get why people be like, this can't be legit. Like, right? I mean, and if the church had let's say a little more of a reasonable is the right word, but a little less strict view of these things. Maybe supposedly the Orthodox are like, if you have kind of extreme circumstances, the priest can give you consent to use permission to use contraception. I don't know if that's actually true or not, but let's just say hypothetically that was the case. Would that really create any major, catastrophe theologically? I don't know.
It would depend on the priest you went to.
Yeah,
like if you went to some priest and they raked you over the coals,
Get back home and give me another baptism in 9 months, buddy.
The enrollments are declining.
Do your part. This is part of tithing here. Is making. So I don't know. I mean, I do know, and I mentioned this last show. I get messages from people. Our show, we get messages from people that have stumbled upon the Catholic faith that are not Catholic, and they're like, "This is what we've been looking for," except this crazy sex stuff. Like, what's up with that? They seriously say either I'm not going to join the church, or maybe they go to a little different, maybe Anglican or something else that has kind of stuff that they're looking for, maybe more of the liturgy and the ritual and stuff like that. So it happens. Now, maybe that's the way it's supposed to be. I'm not here to, but to just dismiss those people as being, well, they're just bad. They're just,
and they are dismissed without a doubt.
Yes. Yeah. They're just dismissed as their concerns are not legitimate. They don't love the Lord enough, or they're just
it's
slaves
just like
to their passion.
They're fine just sending them off to hell.
Yeah.
Because there is no salvation outside the Catholic Church. Walk your own path, buddy.
Yeah. Yep.
As for me and my family, we're gonna suffer this thing out.
Right. And I don't know. I mean, I think it's a problem that we need to maybe just talk about a little more in light of everything going on, declining numbers in the church. And, I don't think that, allowing that is going to make everyone suddenly stop having kids at all. I think most people are still going to have a family. Maybe they have 3 or 4 kids instead of 8 or 9.
Yep.
Right.
And I mean, in reality, they would have 1 or 2 probably in today's standards.
Yeah, I suppose. I don't know.
And some people in reality may not be cut out to have kids. That's controversial to say.
I might not be cut out to have kids. I don't know.
But there is a maturation process that occurs when you have kids as well. So it is good.
Yeah. It just seems like, when you start having kids, and let's say you're a trucker, you have a job that travels. Just this last week, I don't travel a lot, but when I do, it always falls during the infertile time when we should be trying to take advantage. It causes a lot of suffering. Seemingly unnecessary suffering in my mind.
And I can see, not allowing abortifacient drugs or, artificial birth control that acts in that way. But there is some room for advancing the thought of what the intention of those rules really is.
In the 60s or whatever, when Humanae Vitae was, when birth control was being debated again, there was this, people can correct me if I've got it wrong, but this concept of the fundamental option I mean, it's a generic term, but often gets applied to family planning and contraception and stuff like that. The fundamental option, I believe, is premised on the idea that what matters isn't whether every single act is open to life, but as a whole, is this couple open to life? Right? Um, and
that makes sense.
There's something that makes sense about that, right? And
Mhm.
it's been a long time, but we did a video on, or maybe I just talked about it. The marriage vows. The vows that we take at our wedding don't say make sure every sexual act is open to life. It says welcome children lovingly from God.
Mhm.
It's that's a generic standard that
It's true.
entails individual discernment by the couple, right? And that.
Yeah, it's not like you say, I will only ejaculate in one place for
Yeah,
the rest of my life.
Right. I mean, no, maybe that would make the wedding vows not,
Let's keeping it real.
But let's be honest about it, right? That is the standard.
That is the standard.
They're not judging you how many kids you have. They're judging you what you do every single time.
Yep.
And I don't know. To me, the fundamental option seems to line up more with our concept of marriage and wedding vows. And if a couple, the question seems like it really ought to be, should this couple be trying to procreate now or not? Right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, doesn't God really care more about that than how often we do it and exactly where things finish and all that? I mean,
our friend Diana, or what
yeah, she was in the comments.
Yeah, she would say they're using human reasoning and not.
Oh yeah, you saw that.
Yeah, I saw that. And she's really hammering on us.
I saw my wife about that. I said, "There's this lady that shows up and she just hates our content,
but she
keeps coming back for more." And my wife's like, "She should probably take it up in the confessional. Maybe the priest is saying stop going to listen to those guys' podcasts." But
yeah, I don't know. It seems like we really work her up.
Yeah, I'm just like, just save yourself the grief. Don't save me some grief.
You can pray for us though.
Yeah, I mean, whatever.
I have no ill will.
No.
I mean, people can comment whatever they want.
It's just always interested people to come in and they complain about what we say, but reject every invitation to come on to do a show.
Yeah.
Whatever. You come in and tell us when we're wrong.
Yep. We'd be happy to talk to you.
Just don't just sit there
respectful.
Don't just badmouth us in the comments. Like, either come in, like, speak your piece, or go find another podcast to listen to. I don't know, whatever.
Or argue with us in the comments.
Whatever
you want.
But
that makes you feel good.
That's right. But to me, if a couple, let's just say, I mean, I think that is a standard. I mean, I think whether a couple should or shouldn't be procreating now, I think is a concept that I think that does match with that vow, right? The Catholics will say, well, yes, and if you're in a point of discernment where you can't have, shouldn't be, don't need to procreate or shouldn't be procreating, well, you got to use NFP, right? Okay. Why does it matter how you get to that point? Right?
And that's a new concept within the church. Even.
Yeah,
I mean, that's less than 100 years old.
Right. So maybe, I don't know.
It's almost like the rapture. Like that's a new concept that wasn't around until the 1920s.
John, you're speaking John Farrell's tune here.
Oh, am I?
Yeah. All this newfangled humanity.
Well,
all the good stuff ended with Chastity Canubi.
It also feels like the rules are based on a lack of understanding of what marriage is like, and without our understanding of human biology. So, I mean, it goes both ways.
Yeah. Well, if my wife doesn't go through menopause for another 200 years, maybe I'll see some change before it matters.
See if you make it.
Yeah. So,
wouldn't that be something? You think, about menopause, and Abraham, his wife gets pregnant when she's like 90 years old. In the Bible, like, you think maybe they've been using NFP that whole time? One slip up at the age of 90.
Yeah. Don't tell me that. I don't want to hear that.
I wonder what my phone is dead. I was going to look up what the oldest woman was to get pregnant naturally. I bet you it's close to 60.
I think so.
But then you got Sarah in the Bible.
Yeah,
You skeptical of that? Or how they kept track of time?
You're seeing a pattern here.
Well,
I'm a little skeptical about
that a 90-year-old woman can get pregnant.
Yeah,
even if you tried really hard.
Yeah, I think that seems unlikely.
Can you imagine how tired you'd be?
Oh my gosh. Oh.
That'd be your first kid, like you'd be pretty surprised.
Yeah.
Then you got to raise this thing.
Yeah. I'm just hoping to make it to the birth.
I do wonder what life was like if people truly did. I don't even know how that could have happened. Like in reality, if you take the Bible literally, how somebody lived to be 900 years old, unless there was fundamental changes in our DNA that have happened based on diet, the sun, whatever. It's all in the DNA, and I don't know how to.
Back before 5G and COVID vaccines, people just lived pretty much forever.
Oh God, it's a good link there. 5G and the COVID vaccine.
That's where
that
it
was
all.
A popular thought.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I wish the church wasn't. Well, I wish so many people in the church weren't quite so dismissive of those that do find the official teachings on these things to be excessively onerous.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe just offer an ounce of empathy and just provide a better explanation for why it is, because the explanation really is, well, this is the way it's always been. It's been this way for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know. We've looked through the history of it, and there were some sketchy ideas that people used to have about this, and then maybe that doesn't
change anything.
But
the truth
maybe it did affect it a little bit, right? So I don't know. Tradition is a two-edged sword, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I think for some things, like I said, there are concepts that seem somewhat implausible to me. The one that kind of touches close to the other stuff, but the perpetual virginity of Mary.
Oh, you're gonna go there.
Well, it's just it's something that seems like it wouldn't affect me. It wouldn't affect my faith 1 ounce whatsoever whether Mary went on to have children with Joseph or not. Like it doesn't matter to me. I find it implausible, but I totally get the church, whatever. Fine.
I don't even think about it. I'm fine with that.
Well, I just use it as a non.
It makes me uncomfortable to talk about. I'll tell you that.
Which is probably why we never do. Because why it never.
Nobody's really going to debate that.
No, but it's although there is, I suspect that the reasoning there's a lot of overlap in the reasoning behind that viewpoint. But whatever, you can have the teaching, and I'm not gonna.
Those views are not mine. They're solely Craig's. Our Lady, pray for us. That's right.
No, I mean, I can't think of another example that fits that thing. But whatever. I mean, I don't have any trouble just. I don't even say submitting my intellect to that, but I just it's one of those little pockets of theology that just causes me to be like, are we sure? But whatever. But this stuff is just so it just has so much impact in people's lives.
It does.
That
one guy Onan, he affected everybody.
Yeah, I made a comment the other day, and I'm going to butcher it, but it was no, no, no biblical text has caused more theological carnage in the hands of scrupulous celibates than the story of Odin, or something like that.
Yeah, is there anything else?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. You don't see people cutting off their hands or plucking out their eyes, even though Jesus said that.
Yeah, right.
But some guy pulling out in the desert.
Yeah, boy, that thing is. We take that thing very literal.
Boy, that's true.
So
yeah. I wonder how long into menopause you'll be like okay with not charting, or like when do you officially hang it up?
I don't know if we do.
You always do it. Just keep buying the strips.
I'll be keeping Clear Blue financially afloat for a long, long time yet.
Because because
you don't really
you
know.
You could really get caught.
Yeah. Oh, we haven't cycled in a year. Hey, here's an egg for you guys.
Yeah, gonna fire one out there. Yeah.
I imagine my wife will want to chart for a long, long time.
Oh man, I don't know. That'll be a whole new adventure.
Yeah. So
stay tuned for that saga. It's coming in a few years. 10 years.
Hopefully shorter than that.
Yeah, we'll see.
So far, we're still,
as
far as we know, we're capable of expanding. So
it would be ironic if, due to your aging, you decline, but then your wife is the opposite happens after she's no longer fertile.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be an interesting conundrum.
Yeah.
And she could know what the pain was like.
That'd be terrible. I know a good confessor for you, lady. I got them all scoped out for you.
Yep.
I can tell which ones you can get in and out quickly. And
yeah, the thing is, he might not still be alive.
Yeah.
He's heard my confession literally hundreds and hundreds of times. So I might have wore him out.
Might be kind of refreshing to have the new blood in there.
Boy, isn't that funny? That's probably true. All right, got a lady in here.
I wonder what his explanation is for that. Maybe it's the same thing, but
I don't know.
So, all right.
Yeah, all right.
Good job. Okay. Well, I think we've caused enough damage for one day, so we're recording earlier this week because of my travel plans, but hopefully by next week we should be back to normal. So anyway, thank you, Jonah. Thank you those that were tuning in for the live stream. It'll be unlisted, and then it'll get. You have something you got?
I got a fun fact.
All right, go ahead.
So a woman named Dawn Brooke is the oldest verified woman to conceive naturally, giving birth to a son at age 59 in 1997.
Oh, that's not that old.
Yeah, you just got like 15 years to go, huh? There was a 67-year-old retired doctor in China who gave birth to a girl after using traditional Chinese fertility treatments, which is, natural
ginseng and stuff
like that.
Yeah.
So keep her away from that.
How old?
67.
Well, we won't be doing any of that.
What they're eating in the desert.
It could be.
Yeah,
could be.
Yeah. There was a 57. There's actually been a lot in their mid 50s that have given birth. So,
come on, 5G, let's go. Nip that stuff in the bud.
And the oldest recorded mother using any methods she conceived at the age of 74.
Ooh.
Can you imagine? Like, why would you want to do that at the age of 74?
It's beyond me.
Realize that it's time in life to start something new.
Better late than never.
Retired now, got more time for the kid.
Sounds like a moment of weakness. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's wild.
Well, that will not be us. I mean, the purposeful ones, maybe the unexpected ones could be, but
yeah,
we'll see.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Well, good luck to you.
Thank you, Jonah. Thanks, everyone, for listening. And until next time, everyone,
Bye.
have a good one.